one reason I wanted to write this book is because I think there are parts of their story that people today will be surprised to discover. And I think this is one of the major ones, was how they were truly hounded by the press and the photographers, cameramen, newsreel operators in a way that we really didn't see again until Princess Diana came along. And I think it almost it had the same kind of tragic consequences. It's hard for us today in this era when, as you said, everyone is on Twitter, everyone is on Facebook. We have reality TV shows all over the place. It seems as if everyone wants to be famous. Anne and Charles did not want to be famous.
If only for 24 hours.
Yeah. So it really kind of makes celebrity less of a thing. I think, again, you still see this kind of adulation from perhaps Kate and the Duchess of Cambridge and Prince William. The difference is that the Lindberghs didn't seek it. They ran from it. But they happened to be young and beautiful and daring and brave. He was the hero of his age. They happened to be this in an era when newsreels and then radio are just in their infancy. So for the first time, people are seeing Charles Lindbergh and Anne Lindbergh on the movie screens before they see their Mary Pickford movie. So it brings them into people's lives in a way that wasn't possible prior to this time. And I think it just stoked an unquenchable thirst for everything they did. And again, they didn't cultivate it. They ran from it.
Yes.
They had to wear disguises when they went out in public if they didn't want to be noticed. The press clamored for photographs of their firstborn, and they didn't want to release photographs of them. So then the press made up stories that the child was deformed. And then they had to release photographs of him. This was the kind of game they were playing, the press and the public. The press was just trying to sell newspapers. Yeah. And the best way to sell a newspaper was to have something with Charles Lindbergh or Anne Lindbergh on the front of it. A picture oftentimes.
Gotta be a picture.
Oh, and the newsreels followed them. And in some way I understand it. Again, they were doing things no one else was doing. They were setting up housekeeping in planes, not in homes. And, aviation was very romantic and glamorous in this time period. Mm-hmm. We're talking the late 20s, early 30s. But again, it ruined their lives. It ruined their lives forever. At one point, it chased them from our country, and they took refuge in Europe, trying to escape the press.
The fact that these two people got together at all was a surprise, particularly to Anne. Mm-hmm. After all, he is the hero of the ages.
Absolutely, the golden boy of all time. Yes,
yeah. Yes, and she. I think the description is a shy graduate of Smith College.
Yeah. They were very different, yet very similar. I mean, intensely different in their upbringing, in their education, and the life that they had led. And Anne was a dreamer and aspired to literary, fame and accomplishments, and was a poet, and really was not a person of action, whereas Charles was the man of action. But they were both very shy. They were both very withdrawn. So there's similarities, yet great opposites.
Well, one of the opposites is, in my opinion, is that she was a real romantic dreamer. Mm-hmm. I mean, she would dream,
castles in the air and Prince Charming and things like this, certainly. Yeah. And he fit the bill initially anyway. Certainly that dream turned very, very sour later in their lives.